Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you the Clockwork origin. Now the Clockwork origin, I've only posted about this origin 3 times, but then again I never actually mentioned the name outside of Discord. Now what the thing behind me are all the items that the Clockwork origin can make, and if you know DST, you would recognize the abilities because I took heavily inspiration from there with like a little bit of sprinkle of what I could think of. So yeah, let's begin. Once you spawn in as the Clockwork, you will start with a Cleansing Watch, a Time Zapper Watch, and 6 Jadeite. Now, this item, the Cleansing Watch, is very important for the origin. I will explain more towards it later on when I actually explain each of the watches and the items that this clockwork can do. And before we actually begin that, I'm going to explain about your new health mechanic. Since this origin doesn't thrive from the idea of having hearts, you instead have the corrosion level. Now, as you can see right from over there, the origin or the clockwork starts at level 40 corrosion level, and every 30 seconds of the moment that you're online, it will increase by 1 corrosion level. And if you take damage, it will increase the corrosion level based on the damage that you take. So there you go. That's only like half a heart, so that's 1 corrosion level. There we go. So if I were attacked by let's say a zombie, that will increase the corrosion based on the damage, remember. And here's another thing. If you took damage that exceeds 10 hearts, it will actually automatically be converted as 20 corrosion level. And the maximum sustained damage that you can take is 30 corrosion level. So I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but I will probably edit out how it works on screen. So, you know, be that as it may. And okay, let's move on. What happens when the corrosion level reaches its max? Well, it's quite obvious. That's where you actually just die. Let me just put that in. I should probably set my spawn here first. Okay. Corrosion timer to 1. So that's essentially what happens. And like as you can previously see, every time you take damage, you actually don't take instant damage. It slowly rises up until it reaches that point. And interestingly enough, there's nothing interesting actually. So let's start with these 2 items that you're gonna need a lot, and I'll see you there. Okay, let's start with Jadeite. Now, Jadeite is, depending on a player-to-player experience, might be one of the hardest or might be one of the easiest thing to actually get. So, you can craft Jadeite by your own unique crafting area in your inventory. The question is, how do you craft it? Well, you need this set of items. You need 8 raw golds and 1 lapis lazuli. So, you need it to be in this pattern right here. So, there we go. Now, the Jadeite is basically the base items for any of your watches, and all of them requires at least 1 Jadeite at the minimum to be crafted. And the toolkit is another important part. Any watches right here and these items right here as well require the toolkit to actually be crafted. So how do you craft the toolkit? The toolkit can be crafted via these materials right here. So let's craft our very own toolkit. Now, the toolkit is, I would argue, the second or third best item that this origin can have because of its many functions. When you have the toolkit as the clockwork, you no longer need a crafting table because pressing right click will open a crafting bin just for you, so you can, you know, craft on the go whenever you go. You don't need to place a crafting table and as such. And interestingly enough, when you put this toolkit on its designated slot, not only you are able to craft watches and some of the items, it also, when you press your, I think this is the save up bar. Let me check. Ah yes, the load bar. It will open a pocket where you can like store your items in. But do note that the items in here will drop when you are killed. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And those are the two important items you're gonna need very early on. So I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so let's talk about the Papyrus and the Portal Shard. Now, this one are kind of like the one that you need least the most, depending on any circumstances. Except for the Papyrus though. The Papyrus has some semblance of significance. So the Papyrus you need is a toolkit and a sugar cane. Now, the Papyrus works differently because you need the toolkit and at least more than 6 sugar cane. So the toolkit must be on your off hand and the sugar cane on your main hand, and you just right click. That will give you a Papyrus. And the next one is the Portal Shard. Now, to craft the Portal Shard, you need the toolkit and 4 Papyrus. So, let me just, there we go. And 1 Jadeite. So, you need to do this and put the Jadeite in. That will give you the Portal Shard. Now, the Portal Shard can only be used to this item right over here, which I will explain later on. So, that's all for them. Okay, so we already discussed the 4 main items that you may or may not need. Now let's talk about the watches now. The very important watches you could have is the Cleansing Watch, because it's the only thing that keeps you alive, honestly. Aside from the Death Watch, but you know. So in order to craft the Cleansing Watch, you need 5 Jadeite and a toolkit. So let's just craft one on the spot right here. Now, this is a very interesting part about the Cleansing Watch, since let's give you a 50. So if you have like a corrosion level or any damage that you want to withdraw, the Cleansing Watch is one way to heal, and they can't be stacked no matter what, and they have their own unique cooldowns. At least 4 of them can have a unique cooldown. So once I press right click on this, it will reduce your corrosion level by 8, and I can use this at the same time. So they will have their own cooldown properties. Well, yeah, the maximum that can have their own unique cooldown are 4. So properly keep that in mind. And yes. Oh, nope. Okay. So that's one of the best watches you could have. So you have to, in my opinion, you have to think carefully on how many Cleansing Watch you need to bring, depending on what adventure you're on, because you do have very limited healing. And yep, I'll move on to the Anomaly Watch. Okay, so the next one is the Anomaly Watch. Now, to craft the Anomaly Watch, you need this item: 4 glass, 1 sand, and 4 Jadeite. And let's just take some of this, and also the toolkit. So you need it right here, like this, and the Jadeite. There we go. So now, the Anomaly Watch is a particularly different watches than the rest. Let's see. So this is a description, and when you press your primary key while holding this watch, it will create a glyph that spins, and then it will boost you. It will move your movement speed and your break speed. Do note that this will also increase your corrosion level rapidly during the short period of time. And when the duration ends, you suffer slowness and break speed penalty until the debuff wear off. So, you know, use this watch when you actually plan ahead on what you're going to do. Otherwise, this watch can punish you more than it can reward you. So let's move on. Okay, and the next one is the the Death Watch. Now, the Death Watch is rather unique and honestly one of the best watch you could have, and you can get it very early on in the game. So, you know, let's see. So, the Death Watch. What you need to craft it, but I kind of like forgot. Let me check. Okay, so Jadeite right here, 4 bones, and any logs will do. So there you go. Now it will give you 1 Death Watch. So this Death Watch acts the same as the Totem of Undying, except it doesn't give you any potion effects. But it has one advantage against the Totem of Undying though. That advantage is you can place it anywhere in your inventory, and once you've reached 100 corrosion level, it will prevent your death, and it will also break the watch, refunding you half of its resource cost. So let me just craft one a little bit right here. Now, there we go. Now, this the Death Watch has a 1 minute and 30 seconds cooldown before you can use another one. And one more thing before I forget, you can actually hit another player with this, and when you hit them, they'll gain this ability. These 3 abilities right here, and it acts the same as the there we go. Yeah, it acts the same as the Totem of Undying for regular players. So let me just let me just change what origin I am. So let's back to human, and yeah, the Death Watch still functions the same, but you can place it anywhere in your inventory as a non-Clockwork origin. And when you do die, let me summon a Vindicator in here to try and slay me. There we go. It will, yeah. And when you the watch still is still there, but it will no longer protect you. There we go. So yeah, and as you can see right there, I have the cooldown. I have a timer for the Death Watch, meaning the Clockwork cannot give me the Death Watch again for 1 Minecraft day. So keep that in mind, and I honestly, this is like a good supporting tool for the Clockwork to have. And yep. Okay, now the next watch is the Lock Time Watch. To craft the Lock Time Watch, you need a compass, 2 gold, 4 papyrus, and 2 jadeite. So let's craft one. Let's see. You need 1 of these. Raw gold. Oh, sorry. Jadeite and papyrus around here. And you need the toolkit. So I made a mistake there. I need to be the Clockwork, my bad. There we go. So now the Lock Time Watch is one of the good abilities as well. When you press your primary key, you place a anchor point into that location. You can see by the marker over there, and when you press the secondary key, it also does the same thing. So it allows you to place 2 different anchor points. And let's see. So if you want to teleport from your primary key, you need to press right click. And other players cannot see the particles, but they can hear the ticking sound if they're near. And oh yeah, one more thing. If you want to teleport from your secondary key, you need to press the left click. Now, using to teleport using the Lock Time Watch can have cooldowns, as you can see over there. And it takes roughly 5 minutes for the cooldown to end. So, you know, you can't always teleport there anytime you want, unless you upgrade the Lock Time Watch into the Time Dial Watch. Now, to upgrade the Lock Time Watch, you need the Portal Shard. So let's just keep this away from here. So upgrading the Lock Time Watch and the Portal Shard like this, it'll give you Time Dial Watch. Now, this allows you to bypass the cooldown, and also allows you to bring any entity except for the Ender Dragon to the location right over here and right over there. Now, using the using the time dial watch will convert it back into lock time watch. So properly keep that in mind. Also, one more thing. It also increases your corrosion level by 5. So try not to abuse it as much because you will end up, harming yourself. There we go. And yeah. All right. Now for the reversal watch. Now the reversal watch is one of the best watches as well. I'm gonna say now. All you need is Jadeite, Ender Pearl, and raw gold. So let's craft one like this. Now, the reversal watch will store your location 3 times every 6 seconds, and go as long as it is in your in this slot right here. And there we go. We got one. Other players can see the armor stand, but they can't see it glowing. Now, they are color coded though, so you are aware which one is the most recent one, and you will where's the most recent, teleport, where you will like teleport when you use this watch. So let's see. There we go. If I use this, every time you use it though, it has 25% chance that it will break, giving you half of its cost value. There we go. And let me just move here. And let's just teleport back. There you go. This watch is extremely good, to be honest. When you actually can craft a lot of it, it allows you to correct your mistakes. For example, accidentally falling, stuff like that. Also, one more thing. When you do teleport, it does reset your fall distance to 0. So when you can time it right, you can prevent yourself from taking fall damage. And there you go. This is such a very cool and powerful watch. I'm gonna keep admitting that. So let's move on. Oh yeah, one more thing I almost forgot. Now on the reversal watch is that the distance that it stores location will drastically drop the higher your corrosion level is. So meaning if you have it on 80 per se, there you go. It will store your location every 3 seconds. So it doesn't help you much if you're in higher corrosion level, but don't be dismayed though. It will allow you to dodge some things like TNT blast, stuff like that. There you go. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your last watch, the Time Zapper watch. Now to craft the Time Zapper watch, you need this amount of items, including the Papyrus, the Jadeite, and a toolkit. Like that. And you spawn in with this one, so just heads up for that one. So, there's an iron golem here. I'm gonna summon another one. There we go. So, the Time Zapper watch is one of your best weapons. For the sole purpose that its damage increase the higher your corrosion level is. So my corrosion is 14. That deals 6 points of damage. So if I were let's say 40, like above 40, like that. So let's just add another one. There we go. It will deal 8 points of damage, and 12 if you're critting. And then if you're above 61, it will deal 14 points of damage, or 21 if you're critting. So this is like arguably one of your best tools. And when you press your primary key, and when you hit an entity, it will summon a future, quote-unquote, future version of yourself that will strike with you. So this allows you to keep up a damage consistency, but every time you do attack while this is active, it will increase your corrosion level by 1. So, it's kind of a pro and con thing, but you can technically use this to your advantage. For example, if your corrosion level is too low, you can just have this activated and attack anything for more damage, as well as further increasing your corrosion level. That will help you eventually reach a higher damage for your time Zapper watch. So it's all cool. And basically that's all the items that this origin has. The next one we're gonna talk about is the corrosion, like more in depth with the corrosion one. So see you there. Okay, so let's talk about the corrosion level. Now, the corrosion is what hinders this origin so much, because the higher it gets, the more dangerous your cons will be. Right now, I am at 24 corrosion level, so nothing basically hinders me. I can break blocks naturally, stuff like that. But the first warning is when you reach corrosion level 40. This effect and sound will play out. And as you can see from here, nothing changes yet. That is until you reach corrosion level 50. Now, once you're at corrosion level 50, let's see. You can no longer use shield. Oh wait, I think that's about 70. But yeah, you can still use shield, but you can no longer use bows and crossbows. Yep. Let's see. And you can see from here that your swords like this, and let me give myself a diamond axe. Yeah. Diamond, like a sword and axe, has drastically reduced attack speed, making them less reliable. And if you're above, let's say, I think it's like 60 now. I believe this is where you can't use shield. Yep, when you're above 60, you can no longer use shields. So you don't need this anymore. And let's see, give myself some steak over here. There we go. Cooked beef. I've actually forgotten. And give myself some hunger. There we go. So when you eat, there we go. There is a 50% chance to rapidly increase your corrosion level. Making like this only happens when you eat meat though, so be careful when eating meat stuff. There you go. 50% chance to increase your corrosion level extremely fast. Also, the higher your corrosion level is, the slower you mine items. Yes, that is very scary. Let me grab my axe right here. Yep, you break slower the higher your corrosion level. There is like one final warning that you have. It's on corrosion level 80. This is a very dangerous part when you're breaking blocks, doing regular Minecraft things. So, keep that in mind. Oh, as you can see from here, the higher your corrosion level is, the slower you get, the slower you move. So let me just lower this one. It's tolerable, and and the normal one. So, yeah. So those how this origin works. And yep. Also, one more thing before this, I will wrap up this video. The cleansing watch, the time dial watch, and the lock time watch will not drop when you are killed. So just to make sure, I'm just gonna do this. Game will keep inventory full, and I'm just gonna slash KS. There we go. And you still have these watches. So that is a good thing to know. So yeah, bye bye. So yeah, if you do enjoy this origin, leave a like if you want to. And this origin is awfully a lot complicated than the ones that I've just created previously. But it is also like one of the most rewarding. There we go. So yeah, I'll see you soon.